Good morning, children. Today we are going to see a new chapter. The topic of the lesson is changes around us. Okay. So in this session, particularly we are going to discuss some important things. What are they? Let me see now. First one, introduction part. The second one, physical change and chemical change. Differences between physical change and chemical change. Next one, examples, followed by chemical change definition. Next, chemical reactions definition, followed by conditions. Okay, chemical conditions. What are the conditions are required for a chemical reaction to take place? That conditions. Next one, chemical reactions based on physical contact. Finally, chemical reactions based on solution of reactants. So these contents we are going to discuss today. First, we can move to the introduction part. Our body is a wonderful organism that is capable of doing so many amazing things. There are things happening around us every day, every second. These changes around us are sometimes not even noticeable. Then what are these changes? What do you mean by changes? Let us know more. The changes that takes place around us can be classified into physical change and chemical change. So you should learn about what is meant by physical change and chemical change, right? So physical change and chemical change differences we will see now. So look at the board. If you take the physical change is a temporary change, right? If you take chemical change is a permanent change. Next one, physical change is a reversible change. What do you mean by reversible change? A substance, it can get back to their original position. For example, if you take this rubber band, if you stretch this rubber band like this, again it will come back to its original position, isn't it? So this is nothing but a reversible change. Whereas chemical change is an irreversible change. Okay, substances which cannot get back to their original position, that is called the irreversible change. For example, burning of paper. If you burn a paper, you will see the ashes only. Again you cannot get back to the same paper, again you cannot get back, isn't it? So it is an irreversible change. Next, physical change. No new substance is formed in physical change, whereas new substance is formed in chemical change, right? This is the difference between physical change and chemical change. Now, what is meant by chemical change? A chemical change is a permanent, irreversible change and a new substance is formed. Okay, it's a very important 2-mark question definition. What is meant by chemical change? A chemical change is a permanent, irreversible change and produces a new substance. Got it, children? Okay. Next, we can move to the chemical reactions definition. Chemical changes are otherwise called as chemical reactions. Okay. For example, if one or more substances undergoes a chemical reaction, it forms one or more new substances. Okay. That is, reactant gives product. Okay. So look at the board. Chemical changes are otherwise called as chemical reactions. Okay, because one or more substances, that is called the reactants. Okay, reactants undergo a reaction, that is chemical reaction, to form one or more new substances, that is called the products. Okay, so reactant gives product. If a single reactant if you are taking means you will get single product. Okay, in that case you will get single product. Suppose one or more substances are taking as a reactant means you will get one or more new substances. So reactants gives products. Okay, this is also important 2-mark children. So what is meant by chemical reaction or define chemical reaction? What's the chemical changes are otherwise called as chemical reactions because one or more substances, that is reactants, undergo a reaction to form one or more new substances, that is products. So reactants gives products. Understood? Shall we move to the next one? Next one, conditions. Conditions required for a chemical reaction to take place. Some of our day-to-day activities like burning of a matchstick on rubbing and then iron materials turning into reddish brown. How these changes happen? These changes happen due to the chemical reactions based on the physical contact. Okay, then what is meant by physical contact? Physical contact means actually combination of reactants in their naturally occurring states. What are the naturally occurring states? It may be solids or liquids or gases. It is called the physical contact. Okay, combination of reactants in their naturally occurring states, that is solids, liquids or gases, are called the physical contact, right? Okay, what are the conditions are required for a chemical reaction? Let me see now. First, if you take a society, different people live in different conditions, okay, but not under same conditions. Different people have different lifestyle. In the same manner, all chemical reactions will not occur at all conditions. Okay, for a chemical reaction to take place, certain specific conditions are required for a chemical reaction to take place. What are the conditions are required for a chemical reaction to take place? Let me see now. First one, physical contact. Second one, solution of reactants. Third one, electricity. Next one, heat. Next, light. And finally, catalyst. So these are the conditions required for a chemical reaction to take place. First, we will discuss about the physical contact. Okay, just now I told you, no, physical contact means what? Combination of reactants in their naturally occurring states, that is solids or liquids or gases, are called physical contact. Okay. Let me see one by one with some examples. Okay, first we can move to the physical contact, that is chemical reactions based on the physical contact. Okay, dry wood, when it comes in contact with fire, it burns. How? With the help of oxygen to form carbon dioxide. Okay, and also it is given out as smoke, right? Next, when a match stick is rubbed on the sides of a matchbox, okay, chemical reaction takes place to form heat, light and also smoke. If you take the matchstick, the head of the matchstick, it contains the chemical. So this is the head of the matchstick, isn't it? This is the head of the matchstick. This matchstick contains potassium chlorate and antimony trisulfide. So the head of this matchstick contains what? Potassium chlorate and antimony trisulfide. The sides of this matchbox, okay, the sides of the matchbox contains red phosphorus. So when you burn a matchstick end with the sides of this matchbox, okay, what you will observe? You will see the heat, light as well as smoke is formed, isn't it? Because this matchstick end contains this chemical, that is potassium chlorate and antimony trisulfide, whereas the sides of the matchbox contains red phosphorus. Okay, so when you strike the matchstick end, it will smoke, right? Okay. Next one, calcium oxide. Quicklime. Quicklime, the chemical name of quicklime is calcium oxide. This quicklime, when it comes in contact with water, it forms slaked-the-lime. Slaked-the-lime is calcium hydroxide. Okay, this quicklime, the chemical name of quicklime is calcium oxide. When it comes in contact with water, it forms slaked-the-lime, that is calcium hydroxide, right? So, this calcium hydroxide is mainly used for whitewashing of walls, right? Okay, what do you conclude from these examples? Two examples we saw, isn't it? What do you conclude from this? From this experiment, from these examples, we can conclude that some certain chemical reactions takes place only when the reactants comes into contact with their physical states. Understood, children? That is the concept of these two examples, right? Shall we move to the next one? Physical reactions based on solution of reactants. Okay. When we mix two solutions, when we mix two substances in a solution form, a new chemical reaction actually takes place, a new substance is formed. Okay. When we mix two substances in solution form, chemical reaction takes place and a new substance is formed. For example, take small amount of solid silver nitrate and sodium chloride. Okay. You observe any changes? No. Both the reactants are in the solid state only. So there will be no changes. So now you just dissolve both the reactants with water and take in a separate test tube. Okay. Dissolve it in water and take in a separate test tube. Now mix both the solutions. What do you observe? The silver nitrate, when it undergoes reaction with the silver chloride, due to this chemical reaction, it forms silver chloride as well as sodium nitrate. Okay. What do you conclude from this experiment? From this experiment, we can conclude that, okay, some chemical reactions takes place, proceed only in the solution form but not in the solid form. Understood, children? Understood the concept of this experiment? Some chemical reactions takes place only in the solution form, okay, but not in the solid form. Okay. Next, this electricity, heat, light and catalyst. We can discuss about these things in the next session, right? Now we can move to this is the assignment time. I am going to give you 3 question answers, children. First question is chemical chain. What is a chemical chain? Definition is given here, right? This is the first question. And second question is what is meant by chemical reactions? This is the second answer. And third one, what are the conditions are required for a chemical reaction to take place? Okay. So 6 conditions are given. No. So this is the third question. You have to learn and write these 3 question answer 1, 2 and 3. These 3 question answers you have to learn and write 2 times. Okay. Without fail. Right, children? Yes. We will move the remaining things we will discuss in the next session. Right? Thank you, children.